That's the last day, the last half day actually. This afternoon, we're going to have just the presentation from yourself, and we're going to have the finalist together this afternoon. For now, we have the chance and the opportunity to welcome the artists in residence. For the very first time, we had a chance to welcome 3 artists, and it's very important for us to, as I've mentioned at the beginning of the week, how the art is very important at ESSEC, as you've seen in a different... Please, you can get mine. You can get mine, actually, because I'm going to sit over there. You can get mine. It's very important to have art at ESSEC. We had plenty of discussion about art. Should we have any art in Singapore, and like at Sergi, for instance? And if you look at the different corridors, we have different art. The question when I asked myself, should we do it, that was 15 years ago, I truly believe that we shouldn't be like a prison, jail, or hospital, for instance. It would be definitely better to have some art in a residence. That is why still today we have an artist in residence, and for the very first time, it's not on the wall, but it's a bit different with your active participation. And to reveal and to discuss, actually, the art, I'm going to call on stage the 3 artists. Before that, just a very quick introduction. And as I explained to you previously, I would love not to be on your smartphone or computer during the presentations, just to respect the speakers as well as to be polite, as you've been very well educated. I'm pretty sure that you're going to do that. Dassad Dave Lim, photographer, founder of Dassad Art Collective. Dassad is a multidisciplinary art trio composed of Soak, Dave, and Adar. Within the collective, the focus has been toward climate change and its associated anxiety, and how to best create conversations around how it move on to create new futures. As I explained, for the very first time, we have here a collective art, a collective approach, and please welcome on stage Dave Lim. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, it's been nice to hang out and work with you all on the collage that you see right there. We've had a great time working with all the students. I think this was something that was quite unexpected for us. I myself am not an artist. I didn't graduate with an art degree. I graduated in a degree of urban studies. So I believe that art is really for everyone and trying to encourage that sort of methodology and idea. I'm not only representing myself today, there is Adar here. Want to say
hi, everyone. I'm sure we have all met. I've been here for 3 sessions. Yeah, anyway, shall we move on?
Something about yourself?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, of course. I graduated from art school, but I believe in collaboration, and I believe that we should all expand laterally, particularly because if we work in silo, we won't be able to achieve and tackle the greater issues at large. So it's important that we come together, in which why we are in a collective, right? 3 minds are always better than 1. So yes.
So here's what we'll be sort of going through today. We'll be talking about what we've learned from y'all, we're working from y'all. The second bit, we're talking about what projects that we've been doing for like the last 2 or 3 years that we have been around as a collective. And then we'll talk a bit about how we lead our usual lives outside of our artist lives. And then we'll link about to what it means to be practicing as an artist in Singapore. But to start off, so that I'm not talking here forever, we'll just show the collage there. Yeah?
Woo!
Some of you might have created collages that are not shown on this picture. We will be somehow using them.
We'll be keeping them.
We'll be keeping them. There is a public showcase for the work. We will disperse the information to Anne and the rest of. And then if you happen to be, if you're still in Singapore, you can check out the entire work because it's going to be comprised with other people's works too. But thank you so much for giving your time and your energy and all the lovely conversations that we have had with you. But to really top it off, we would like students to share about their work. So if anyone, we have 3 slides of these.
We have 9 collages.
So we have 9 collages, but if one person from each slide could just share about their work.
Any volunteers? Oh,
Yeah,
over there, the gentleman over there.
Please share your name.
Your name, the prompt that prompted you, and what came out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically,
Your name.
my name is Aditya, and my topic was the things that you can't live without. So firstly, I was making basketball, food, a good weather, and my mom and dad. So.
All right. That's good to hear.
Thank you for sharing. I think what was really cute was that the hamburger was growing off the tree. So it expand our imagination to think about how food can be produced in the future.
Okay, we'll get one more student.
One more?
Yeah, sure. Remember your name and what prompt you were responding to.
Hi, my name is Xiaofan, and my work is the third one. So my topic was the future wildlife. So I designed, you can see like a very giant phoenix under, and you can see the mermaid bear with a unicorn horn, and a rapper bee in the central, and the fairy puppy on the left. And there is like a sunny side up, like a leaf on the top. So this is basically my design. Thank you.
Thanks
For sharing. All mythical creatures in the future.
Lovely to see mythical creatures that we might not have seen.
But who knows in the future?
Anyone from this slide would like to share? Please raise your hands.
Woo!
Hello, so I'm Simon. It's the one in the middle, and it's like a future landscape. So it's a city, it's a floating city. And from afar, it looks like a bit like a boat because we have to sail into the challenges of tomorrow.
Thank you, Simon.
The rising sea levels, you mean? Yeah.
Okay, anyone else from this slide? We love these collages, by the way, so which is why we kind of picked them out. Of course.
Hello, I'm Xiao Chen. So my work is on the left, and basically it's about future city and considering the rising sea levels. And I propose like the future cities can be built on the sky, like because of the sky. So yeah, that's my work. Thank you.
Thank you, Xiao Chen.
Thank you for the last.
Okay, and then the last slide. The one in the middle has the top, which I know, yeah.
I know it's a collaboration between 2 gentlemen.
So hello, my name is Lenny, and so yes, mine is the one in the middle. Our theme was the sky of tomorrow. So where can we find a more beautiful sky than the sky of Singapore? So that's what we chose to represent, the sky of Singapore. And we chose a 3D because sky obviously cannot be shown on 2D, so that's why we chose more depth for our picture.
Thank you,
for
Remy.
sharing.
Who did you work with again?
Who do you work with again? There's 2 of you guys, right? Would you like to?
So of course, I need to thank my friend Theo right there. So for the collaboration.
Yeah, this is the first time we have seen a representation in 3D. Yeah, and I think it's very, very imaginative, very, very innovative. Yeah. It's really literally thinking out of the box. All right, anyone else?
Hi, my name is Martin. Me, it's the one on the right, and I had to represent someone who inspires me. So it's a friend of my family, and it's someone who is always straight to their values that are justice, as you can see, freedom on the right, and someone who is always taking care of the others.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. So beautiful, beautiful account of someone.
So yeah, we would like to talk more at large about what we do at Dassad, other than the Everyday Vinyl. The Everyday Vinyl, which is a project that we all participated in this week, has multiple iterations and forms. It is not only just collaging together, there are different things that we do. So just like to share a little bit, but we would like to for those that joined us, you might have experienced this to some bit of process, but I'll get Adar to sort of run us through what the philosophy of the Everyday Vinyl is.
Yeah, I mean, for some of you, I'm repeating again, but I'll repeat one more time for everybody who might not have encountered me during the residency. So the Everyday Vinyl is actually the stickers that we were using to paste the sticker collage are actually repurposed vinyl stickers, right? So it came to us as artists, that we ourselves are also very guilty when you do up like a 1 or 2 day, 1 week exhibition and all the stickers go up, all the stickers go down, right? And stickers are made out of adhesive, so they can't really be recycled. I mean, they clog up the machines, right? So we thought that, how about we go about contacting print companies or de-installers and go and collect all these vinyl stickers, and we can rethink what we can do with them. So that's what we did. And we went out and we had like 2 to 3, 4, 5 print companies that were very willing to work with us on this. So that's what that's how it all kick-started. And this is the process in which how we go about transforming the material depending on the format of our engagement.
But just to go through other iterations of how the project has looked, this is the one that we did over the month of December that is being shown for the Singapore Art Week. So what is happening now in Singapore is actually the Singapore Art Week. So if you're around, there will be a lot of galleries and there will be a lot of public art exhibitions happening right now. So it's actually a great time to experience art in Singapore.
Yep.
As part of that, we were commissioned to do this with a community in the East called Marine Parade. And the idea for the Singapore National Arts Council is to bring arts to the neighborhood because a lot of the Singapore Art Week is concentrated in the city. So this is what happened, and you all will be contributing one of these boards. So you can tell that these are also the same boards that you're also contributing on. And these were 9 or 10 boards that we worked over with the community for over 1 month. So this was mostly with young adults. Not young adults. This was mostly with children and family. And so we had a really different interaction. So for y'all, we really had a good time going through the prompts and the conversations. But for there, when we go through with family, they couldn't really engage with these prompts in the way that you guys did, which was really such an interesting process for us. So you can sort of see a little bit of the behind the scenes. There's a little bit of the prompt cards where you can really see people are just making like patterns on their own and out of their own mind. This was the first project that we did that kicked off everything. It's like a 80 to 100 meter walkway from the City Hall MRT station to the National Gallery of Singapore. And what you see that we did is that we collaged the pillars, and on top you see sort of shapes, and those actually reflect that one's on the ground. So that's what's happening. We did this over a period of 3 months, but just to show a little bit of the behind the scenes of when we were setting up. So we didn't collage these on site. We worked with our assistants over a period of 3 months. And there's actually a frank lot of planning that happens. So getting from this scale in order to a bigger scale for art, for us was quite a sort of an ordeal for us to really plan out everything. And really, it was kind of 8 weeks of working with our assistants in order to produce the necessary amount of material.
But with this scale, you also can imagine the amount of stickers going out and going to the waste as well. If you walk down this corridor, I think it's like 200 meters long.
And to be honest, whatever material that we are using for this installation is produced by the industry in a day. So this is sort of I wouldn't say the sad reality or the true reality, but it is what is happening in terms of waste that is happening in this industry. So the print shops actually work with us quite closely because they feel like it's a meaningful activity for them to participate in. Other than the fact that they also don't want to throw their rubbish and stuff like that. So we help them clear their rubbish too. Okay. So this is the third one, which is, I think, a little bit more interesting, a little bit more intellectual in some sense. What you're seeing is a set of instructions that can replicate itself. So there's a whole there's a whole medium of art called instructional art, where, for example, the most famous is Sol LeWitt, who you can just draw geometric triangles or geometric shapes, and that's his art. And what you get in that form of art is actually a bunch of instructions. So it's kind of similar to what you can see in crypto art forms now. We thought about it, and then we were thinking, how can we make art that replicates itself? So this is a set of instructions. The stickers themselves are also made out of recycled vinyls. You can slowly read through. And this artwork, we intend to put it up on the microsite. I'll send it via emails to various artist friends around the globe, or collectives, or galleries, or institutions, so that they can put this work up themselves. And partially, we did that because we felt that artists shouldn't need to travel to put up their work. So there are multiple collectives, including ourselves, that sort of believe in the ethos and the idea, and we really want to push it to the next level. So that explains the ethos of this work. Alongside with that work, you would also frequently see us produce videos, because videos have this unique ability to travel without us needing to go there to put up their work. In order to sort of talk about carbon emissions, we don't actually need to take a plane to put up our work. So
Carbon footprint.
we would also produce a lot of videos. So this whole video sort of mimics printers, and then it also shows sort of these massive vinyl installations that pass by, and this is just all within Singapore. So this is how the show looks like. And then the third and the very last bit, and then we can have some questions. I would love to have feedback on how you felt about our program, how you felt the prompts are, how was it working, how we could be better. What can you imagine doing with what you have been participating throughout the week? We would love to hear anything. But to talk a bit about sort of what it means to be an artist, we both are not full-time artists. We actually work for ourselves as photographers and filmmakers. So to share a little bit more about our commercial practice, that's how we sustain the rest of whatever that we do. This is kind of just a screenshot of our landing page on our website. Our predominant amount of time, we use it to produce videos, corporate videos. But at the same time, we also work very closely with fellow artists or institutions to produce their videos. And we do that because we love the arts and we are in the arts. And we know what they want to say. So that's what we do for our work. It's a little bit of our highlight reel. So actually what you're seeing right from the first get-go, that very first scene is actually
Club Rainbow.
Yeah, it's an institution club. It's a non-profit called Club Rainbow. They work with children with chronic illnesses or chronic conditions, and they believe in the usage of the arts.
So it's all these clips are actually all from the arts, various forms, performing arts, visual arts, and then
we move on to the more commercial stuff, which we do because it pays the bills. So yeah, that's just a little bit about ourselves. So to speak about the rest of what the collective does, basically a lot of what working in Singapore means is that you have to share space. We initially started out the collective basically because we can't afford a studio rental on our own. And that's kind of like the similar story anywhere in the world. Everyone's sharing a studio as an early emerging starting artist because there isn't really space. In fact, most of us actually share space with our parents in order to start our practice. So we both started in my brother's bedroom when he moved out. So that's sort of like a common story that you hear. And if you ever go out to talk to an artist in Singapore, maybe ask them where they first started. Who did they share space with? So this is a little bit of that story. And you can see that this was our first studio, and this was at an industrial park. So typically, our neighbors were people that were doing warehousing. They were doing small works like welding or warehousing. So it was really interesting to have those sort of relations with people that really don't understand art, but still be very open to it. So we were very grateful for that first space. And that's the end. So that's our 3 Instagram handles. The first is the Everyday Vinyl, which is the project that you participated in. The second is Dassad Studio, that's the overall collective one. And Tertiary Studio is our commercial. don't need to follow if you like it. If you'd like to hear from us, we'd love to hear from you. If you have private messages also, you can also DM us, we'd love to hear. But we'll take questions, comments, or anything that you might want to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone want to, oops, sorry, to ask or to start with a question? Yes, thank you, Adar.
Thank you so much for this presentation. I think it really explained what we were doing before, because I didn't have the chance to have a talk before with you. But yeah, I wanted to know what inspired you, because especially you didn't go to any art school, and collage is such a very interesting type of art. So yeah, what inspires you to create these kind of pieces of artwork?
Okay, it would be great to know your name. Sorry.
Gabrielle.
Okay.
Gabrielle.
Gabrielle. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I think there's two questions in there, right? Sort of, what do you do after college? And then there's a second question is, how do we reach collage? And there's a third question also, which is what is the work inspired? How did the work come about? So I think let's do the third question first. Yeah, so we were answering majorly to the sheer number of vinyls. Yeah, we're answering to our guilt. So we're trying to proactively act upon that and see the way that we use stickers. Yeah. But I think the crucial word that I use here is praxis, which is the idea that we make change by doing change, which is a very simple thing, but how then do we get other people to make the change with us? So that's how we ended up with collage. Because collage or painting or these two mediums in particular, you don't need to hold a camera. You don't need to have something to do something. So I think that medium became that message. Because in the act of doing, then you are practicing. We don't need to critically talk about, there's carbon emissions, or we shouldn't take flights, we shouldn't eat beef. I think that's all personal practice. So how then do we communicate with each other without talking about what is going to happen in the future, without talking about a grim future? So, this is a way that we thought that was a great way to circumvent that idea, but also still participate in some sort of positive action that isn't just focused on positive feelings. So there's both action and feeling. And then the third question, which is about sort of how did I practice? In my third year, I went for a residency in New York, and ever since then, I just felt that I can't sit on a desk. That's just all. So that's how I ended up here. I just went on that line and it went further and further. But thank you for the question, Damian.
Thank you. Someone else? Yes.
First of all, thank you for the 3 days. It was really great working with you on those collage works. So you did mention that in the beginning, for you to start off, you had space issues and all, but you have I think come over that now. How is it right now in Singapore? How do people value your artwork, and how do you feel when you work with people like us? So are they receptive, and how are they reacting?
Okay. The reception at ESSEC is very different from what we typically get. I think typically we don't get sort of such open or transparent. Singaporeans tend to be a little bit more reserved. But that doesn't mean that they're not willing to converse. It just means that when I talk to them, I have to go up and beg them to do the collage with me. So that's what's happening for the last month in December. We have to go and talk to them and sort of you can do this with your family, you can do this with your partner, something. You can have your coffee while doing it. So it's under a very different set of circumstances. So in that sense, it's been great to work with you all because you're also open into doing and then open in sharing your ideas. That's one. The second question is about being an artist in Singapore and sharing space. Okay, we are still on government subsidized rent. So there is no way that we would survive without the government. And that's with the arts anywhere. The arts, I firmly believe, should be paid for by the public. And if the interlocutor of that public money is the government, then maybe that's the best we have. And I think you'll get a varying level of response. But the government in Singapore, just the way that it's managed is not the best in terms of its peers around the world. I mean, we were talking to Anne that was telling us about how it is like in France and what it means to be practicing as an artist in France. So we would love to have those sort of conversations, but in terms of being an artist in Singapore, we will be living off government grants and rent for a long time.
Well, I mean, we are currently we didn't show, but we are currently in Aliwal Arts Center, so that's like a government arts like housing scheme. So it's kind of heavily subsidized, 30% or about 30%.
Or 52.
Yeah.
30 to 50%.
Yeah, and we have it for like 3 years first, and then from there we would see like how it goes, and that's quite the same for almost.
And what that means also is that your livelihood and your ability to express is sort of under those auspices. So I'm not saying that we censor, but the issue with Singapore is that we self-censor.
Yeah.
We think that we can't do it. So it's like it's a bit like your 1984 sort of like double think sort of idea. But yeah, I think over time we've gotten over that because of the sheer number of years that we have practiced. But a lot of artists that start out feel that pressure, especially if they create work that is slightly more radical or political, which my personal work actually is.
Last question here. Yeah.
So is there a, like, because you're doing it with a purpose, so is there a vision that you see after 5 or 10 years that you want to be here, or you want Singapore to be here with art or something of that sort?
Thanks. I think we can speak at length about the project itself, which is the Everyday Vinyl. I think the collective or our personal art has less of a shape. The Everyday Vinyl itself wants to expand in a way that I think firmly believes that we can put up the work elsewhere and we don't need to fly there to do it, because we find that such an important thing, especially post-COVID. So that's sort of the future of the work, and how do we then hit that and get more and more people to participate in something that we consider a democratic activity. Yeah, but thank you for the question. It's nice to think about the future, yeah.
All right, thank you again. Thank you to all of you.